Okay, good afternoon. This video that we're doing today is about my understanding and experience with learning about the Creator's true name and also the name of the Messiah. About 10 years ago, someone gave me a teaching video that was entitled, His Name is Yahweh. And I listened to it, and I've been a believer. Well, at that time, I had been a believer for about 30 something years. Now it's over 40 years that I have been born again and had received the Messiah. But when I listened to this series of teachings on His name is Yahweh, and by the way, His name is not pronounced Yahweh. We'll go into that in these teachings and why I know that His name is not pronounced that way. But this is not just about the pronunciation being accurate or correct. It's about my experience with trying to understand something that, even though I've been a believer for over 30 something years, I had no knowledge that the scriptures, the original scriptures, had the name of the Creator just in the Old Testament, or the Tanakh, 6,823 times. But you wouldn't know it by reading your ordinary English Bible, King James, or other translations, because it's not there. What has happened, and if you do your own, you don't have to take my word for it, do your own study. But what I come to find out as I listened to these teachings that I was listening to, it pointed out the fact is that, like I said, the Creator's name, just in the Old Testament, we'll talk about the New Testament in our upcoming sessions, but in the Old Testament, like I said, His name is in the original, and of course when I say original, I'm talking about the Hebrew text. The Old Testament and the Tanakh was originally written in Hebrew. I think the book of Esther or the book of Ruth, I can't remember, one of those books was written in Aramaic, but predominantly the majority of the books were written in Hebrew. And it was because they were Jews, they were Hebrew speaking people. And but when I began to understand that, in fact, I had to prove this out, but back then I had a strong concordance that I used to look up the words in the Old Testament and the New Testament, see what they actually meant. And it was pointed out in this session that if you were to look up the word Lord, L-O-R-D, especially in the Old Testament where you saw it capitalized, that's where you would find the Creator's name. Well, you can prove this out yourself. Look it up. Look up the word Lord. Start off in the Old Testament and look and see where the word is capitalized. And if you look it up, you'll find the Hebrew number is the Hebrew number 3068. Now, it will tell you that that's the divine name, the name of the Creator. It may even say Yahweh. It may even say Yehovah. Different ways people have pronounced it, but we'll go into that later. But the fact is that His name was in the original scriptures, and you have to realize that this is an English translation. We're reading from English translations, and that's what they are. They're not the original text. And so because of that, what's happened is, and let me get to the root cause of why the name is not in our English translation. Now, they have begun to put it back in some translations, but for the most part, most believers, most Christians or believers or people who have been born again by the Spirit have no clue or idea that the name of their Creator is not in their scriptures. It's been substituted with the word Lord. Now, this, like I said, you can prove this out yourself. You can just go to a concordance, look up the word Lord, and you'll find the Hebrew number is 3068. And again, it will reveal the name of the Creator that should be in that text. And that's the main reason that most people do not have a clue about this fact. Now, most people will say, well, he has many names. Well, let me just deal with that right off. He doesn't have, he has many titles, but he has only one personal name that's been hidden in the scriptures. And we're going to go into the reason why this has happened. And because of finding out why it happened, it was one of the reasons why that I had my curiosity began to really grow and try to understand how in the world could this have happened. And so we're going to go into that in just a minute. But the fact is that when you go to just your regular English translation and read through it, if you do what I said, now to give you an example of what I'm talking about, Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8. Now I'm reading out of a King James version, and this is what the scripture says in the King James. I am the Lord, that is my name. And let me say this, Lord is not a name. By the way, it's a title. Our Creator has many titles. He's referred to as Yahuwah Rapha, which the word Rapha is healer or physician. He revealed himself in the book of Exodus to the children of Yasharel or Israel as Yahuwah Rapha, their healer. Now that's a title, but that's not, Yahuwah is his name, but the part of it, I'm pointing out the word Rapha is a title of one of his functions as who he is. So anyway, going back to this, I am the Lord, that is my name. That's what it says out of this King James I'm reading right here. And it says, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Now, I could go into a lot of other verses in the scriptures and point this out, where he specifically says that this is his name. And we'll do that in some of our upcoming sessions. But I wanted you to see here that right here, if you're reading out an English translation, if you look at that word up, the Lord, in a concordance, you're going to find that the Hebrew number is 3068, which refers to the name of the Creator. So right here, this is an inaccurate translation of the original text. And that should cause you and I alarm and concern, especially when you find out that it's been done not just once, but 6,823 times. Now we're going to get into the reasons why in our next videos coming up here, why this has happened. So I've got to do a lot of different videos on this to actually cover what really needs to be said about it. So if you really want to understand, be patient, because I can't say everything on one video, nor can I answer all your questions just from one video. So if you'll just hold tight, I'll try to get as many of these done as I can, just to help understand, my understanding of the Creator's name and why this is happening and why it's important. We'll talk about that. So with that said, thank you for joining with me, and we'll continue this on our next video. Shalom.